Introduction to Sam. In the heart of a quiet Earth city, Sam Ritchie made a humble living as an antiques dealer, running a cozy, dusty shop filled with oddities and artifacts from ages long gone. For Sam, history wasn't just a job. It was a fascination, a passion that drew him to the lost civilization of Mars. He knew everything Earth scientists had uncovered about Mars' once great society, one that rivaled Earth's before its mysterious collapse. Surrounded by ancient Earth artifacts, a few rare Martian relics, and shelves crammed with books, Sam's shop reflected his interests. An eclectic mix of old tech, historical trinkets, and, whenever he could find them, traces of Martian history. One day, a stranger entered his shop carrying a large, metal container, its surface dull with age and marked by faint Martian symbols. The seller claimed it was a rare Martian artifact, and Sam's curiosity got the better of him. The container seemed ancient, even slightly ominous. He could feel the weight of history in his hands, and his fascination with Martian culture pushed him to take it. Accidental activation. Later that evening, alone in the shop, Sam began examining the artifact. The Martian symbols etched across its surface hinted at a ceremonial or military purpose, and Sam's fingers traced the designs with awe. As he leaned in, something under his fingers clicked, a hidden button he hadn't noticed before. He froze as a low hum vibrated through the metal, a faint blue light illuminating the container. Panic set in, but it was too late. Gears whirred. The hum grew louder, and small panels on the sides of the container began to slide open, releasing a hiss of pressurized air. Sam staggered back, eyes wide as the object came to life. The container split open, and from within, a figure emerged, an armored, imposing figure, adorned in the battle-worn regalia of the ancient Martian Republic. It was a woman, alien yet strikingly familiar, and she was now fully awake and alert. Tiara's awakening. Tiara, the last of Mars' warriors, had awoken. Her gaze was sharp and calculating, though her movements were slow and groggy, adjusting to life after centuries in stasis. Her surroundings, a cluttered, dimly lit shop filled with foreign objects, confused her. Instinctively, she reached for her weapon, a curved blade etched with symbols of the Martian Republic. She scanned the room, eyes finally landing on Sam, who was backed up against a shelf, staring in shock. To Tiara, this small, unassuming human seemed out of place, but familiar. She immediately assumed he was her superior, her commander, and snapped to attention, her voice steady but cautious. "Commander, I am ready to serve." Sam blinked, his voice barely above a whisper. "Commander? Wait, I'm not your commander. I'm just Sam. And I don't even know what you're doing here." He fumbled with his words, struggling to process the situation as Tiara's fierce eyes remained trained on him, her confusion barely hidden. Learning the truth, realizing that something wasn't adding up, Tiara began questioning him, her tone sharp and urgent. "Where is the defense line? The threat? What is its status?" She looked past him, expecting soldiers, battle maps, some hint of an impending conflict. The longer Sam fumbled for answers, the more her unease grew. The words hit her like a blow. Her shoulders stiffened, but her face betrayed only the barest flicker of pain. Everything she knew, everyone she'd sworn to protect, gone. Tiara drew in a breath, her expression hardening as she processed the reality. She was the last, a soldier without a people, a warrior without a war. But as she looked at Sam, she steeled herself, finding new resolve in the quiet strength of her Martian code. "If Mars is gone, then Earth shall be my charge," she declared, with a solemnity that left Sam speechless. Her purpose might have shifted, but her duty remained: to protect, to honor, and to serve. Exploring Earth with Sam. As Sam guided Tiara through the bustling streets of Earth City, her stern, vigilant eyes took in the sights with a mix of awe and suspicion. Civilians roamed the streets freely, laughing, shopping, and talking as if they had never known the fear of invasion. It struck Tiara as strange. In her time, even the cities on Mars had been fortified, full of watchful soldiers and guarded barriers. She couldn't fathom a society that seemed so unguarded. Every detail of Earth society was an assault on her military mind. She gawked at the towering buildings, the neon lights, and the whirring drones delivering goods overhead. The car seemed both advanced and woefully fragile compared to the armored transport she was accustomed to. It was a civilian world in every sense, and while her training urged her to find the hidden threats, all she saw was peace. As they walked, she observed people through narrowed eyes, as if scanning for enemies or weapons, while Sam chuckled quietly at her wariness. Sam took her to a small coffee shop, where he tried to explain computers and the internet. Tiara was captivated by the idea of such limitless information. On Mars, technology had always been directed towards battle and survival, not knowledge for knowledge's sake. She struggled to imagine her people building something like this, and for a moment, a wistful look crossed her face. She realized that in some ways, Earth society had flourished in ways Mars never had, forming a bond with Sam. Seeing her obvious disorientation, Sam realized Tiara needed more than facts. She needed a purpose. Gently, he suggested a mission, one to help her adapt to Earth, to learn, and to share the legacy of Mars in ways this peaceful world could understand. Tiara considered this at first dismissive. To her, it felt like a poor substitute for her duty. But Sam's words held weight, and his calm understanding gradually earned her respect. She accepted his offer, albeit with reluctance, and allowed herself to trust him a little. As they spent more time together, their differences slowly gave way to an understanding. Sam guided her through Earth's culture, showing her art galleries, music, and history. He encouraged her to think of Mars not just as a memory, but as something she could bring into this world. Tiara, though still skeptical, found herself drawn to his views. She began teaching Sam about Martian honor and the bond between her people, sharing stories of her comrades. In time, the two developed a mutual respect, each learning to see the world through the other's eyes. Discovering the alien threat. One evening, while scanning Earth's frequencies out of habit, Tiara's gaze sharpened. Strange signals, barely perceptible, drifted through the static. As she analyzed them, recognition dawned. These were alien radar transmissions. The same faction that had once menaced Mars, now prowling closer to Earth. Her heart raced. This was no coincidence. Earth was next, and it was vulnerable. Tiara's resolve solidified. She was certain now that she'd been reawakened for a reason, to defend Earth from the same fate that had befallen her home. She shared her findings with Sam, her expression fierce, her tone determined. Sam, initially apprehensive, understood the gravity of the situation. Despite his lack of combat experience, he agreed to help her, realizing this was not just her mission, it was his as well. Together, they prepared for the threat, each of them transformed. Tiara, with a renewed purpose to protect, and Sam, no longer just a curious bystander, but an ally, ready to stand beside her as Earth's new defender. Recruiting allies. With the alien threat confirmed, Sam and Tiara knew they couldn't face it alone. They tried to reach out to Earth's local authorities, explaining the severity of the situation, but their warnings were met with skepticism. Bureaucrats were dismissive, brushing off the concept of an interstellar invasion as improbable. Tiara struggled to mask her frustration, confused by Earth's lack of urgency and preparedness. "Why do they not prepare?" she asked, her tone edged with irritation. Sam, understanding the gap between Tiara's martial mindset and Earth's peacetime mentality, reassured her. "Earth hasn't faced anything like this in a long time, Tiara. They just don't understand." Determined to protect Earth with or without official support, Sam tapped into his network. He reached out to survivalists, ex-military friends, and tech enthusiasts he'd come to know over the years through his shop. Though unconventional and lacking formal military training, these allies had resourcefulness, skills, and a shared passion for defending their home. Together, this motley group took shape as a small but determined resistance force, eager to learn under Tiara's command. Training and strategy sessions. Taking on the role of commander, Tiara began training the group in Martian combat techniques, drawing from her experience as a soldier. Her training emphasized teamwork, precision, and the value of utilizing every resource to its fullest potential. She drilled them with intense exercises, teaching them the agility and discipline her own people had relied on in the harsh Martian landscapes. Sam, although initially clumsy and hesitant, surprised Tiara with his adaptability. He struggled with the physical aspects of training, but compensated with quick thinking and a resilience she hadn't expected from an antique dealer. Over time, he proved to be more than just an observer. He learned to handle himself in combat simulations, gaining her respect with his determination. While Tiara led training on the battlefield, Sam took on the role of strategist, blending Earth's technology with what he'd learned from Martian history. He scouted out old structures and urban layouts, finding defensible spots and designing strategies that incorporated both human and Martian strengths. He combined Earth's digital technology with Martian military tactics, creating a hybrid defense plan that Tiara acknowledged as inventive and effective. Slowly, she realized that Sam, though not a traditional soldier, was a valuable partner in their mission. Learning from each other, through their training, Tiara came to see a side of humanity she hadn't fully understood. Earth's people, though untrained in the ways of war, displayed resilience, creativity, and a camaraderie that rivaled her Martian comrades. She saw humanity's ability to rally together, even without years of preparation or training, and she couldn't help but feel a glimmer of admiration. In return, Tiara imparted to the group her own values: honor, loyalty, and the Martian code of self-sacrifice. She spoke of her fallen comrades, their commitment to protect their home planet, and the courage it took to stand against a superior enemy. Her tales inspired the group, infusing them with a sense of purpose and resolve. They began to adopt her warrior mindset, valuing the fight not just for survival, but for something greater. The hours of planning and training brought Sam and Tiara closer, forging a bond that went beyond mere duty. Sam, once doubtful of Martian ideals, found himself moved by Tiara's loyalty to her people and her unbreakable spirit. Tiara, who had seen Sam as an unlikely commander, now saw him as a friend, someone who shared her dedication to protecting this world. They had both been thrust into a war they hadn't expected, but in each other, they found a reason to fight. The alien invasion begins. The alien raiders finally arrived, their massive ships casting shadows over Earth's major cities. Explosions and panic erupted as civilians fled, and Tiara, Sam, and their small resistance group braced themselves for the battle they had long prepared for. As the aliens descended on their city, Tiara took command, her voice steady and resolute. She directed her fighters with precision, her years of tactical knowledge on full display. Sam, positioned with a few tech-savvy allies, coordinated their efforts with Earth's technology, securing communication channels, deploying drones, and monitoring the raiders' movements in real time. Their combined approach, the fusion of Tiara's Martian combat strategies and Sam's inventive use of Earth's technology, proved unexpectedly effective. The alien raiders, accustomed to predictable defenses, were caught off guard by the Resistance's adaptability and determination. The small team managed to fend off wave after wave of invaders, fighting with a strength that belied their size. But the alien forces continued to press in, relentless and far greater in number. As the battle raged on, Tiara and her fighters found themselves heavily outnumbered. Tiara fought with the ferocity of a true Martian warrior, her every movement precise, each strike decisive. Yet, even she couldn't ignore the odds. They were fighting a losing battle, and each moment pushed her closer to her limits. In a pivotal moment, Tiara noticed the alien commander's ship, the central hub coordinating the raiders. Summoning the last of her energy and all her remaining Martian technology, she devised a desperate plan. She broke away from the group, charging toward the enemy's central vessel and activating her last Martian weapon, a powerful, self-sacrificing blast capable of disabling the ship. With a final, fierce blow, she unleashed it, sacrificing her tech to ensure the raiders' defeat. The ship erupted in a blinding explosion, scattering the remaining raiders and tipping the scales in Earth's favor. Realizing she was injured, he quickly assumed command, rallying the remaining forces. Drawing on the Martian tactics she'd taught him, He led the last defensive strikes with remarkable precision, turning her sacrifice into their victory. Under his leadership, they drove back the remaining raiders, finally securing Earth's safety. Sam rushed to Tiara's side, finding her gravely injured. Yet her gaze was calm, as if her spirit remained unscathed. She looked to Sam, her voice softened by exhaustion, but full of pride. "You've honored Mars, Sam, and now you must carry our legacy forward." She asked him to preserve her people's history, urging him to continue sharing the honor and courage of the Martian Code. Sam, choking back emotion, promised he would. In her final moments, Tiara felt at peace. She had fulfilled her duty, defended a world in need, and left her legacy in trusted hands. With a quiet sigh, she passed away, her spirit leaving behind a legacy of courage and honor. Conclusion. After the battle, Sam became a prominent figure, dedicating himself to preserving Tiara's story and the Martian legacy she had fought for. He shared the tale of her bravery, her commitment to duty, and the values that had defined her people. Inspired by her sacrifice, Earth's citizens embraced elements of the Martian warrior code: honor, loyalty, and resilience, ensuring Mars' legacy endured in the spirit of humanity. Through Sam's efforts, Tiara's influence lived on, a reminder of Mars' lost civilization and a testament to the bond they had shared. Though she was gone, her memory and the honor of her people remained, woven into the fabric of Earth's future.